Hello, Duckies, and welcome back to Queen's Wish 2. My name is Viola. If you like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I know the last episode was not exactly ideal. I tried to explore, only to kind of get a very stern reminder by the game that I am still low level. Which, I mean, I'm not, I'm well aware. I'm well aware that I am still low level, and there's certain things that I should probably be doing versus going off and exploring, trying to do things like the Hyalithic climb before I can do much else. So let's actually go and do what we need to do, which is to go to Laskara and get our permission to travel around this zone. We have the base of a pair of huge stone pillars flanking an ancient stone road. A nearby sign identifies this north-south pass as the Pilgrimage Road, main roadway cutting all the way through the Rokaj. You absorbed enough of your schooling to know a little bit about the geography of the road. If you go north from here, you can reach three other provinces of the Rokaj: the Kranis Woods, the Low Daga, and the Hyalitha. We don't. Road is patrolled by a band of Rokaj warriors. They're very alert. The recent raids have enraged them, and they're ready to kill. When you approach and they see who you are, they step off the road as you pass. Okay. Alright, so here we are. You enter a large Havenite military encampment. A large portion of the 7th Army is camped here. There are long rows of tents dotted with cooking fires and protected by a huge wooden fortification. This camp has been here for a long time. The feet of generations of soldiers have carved ruts in the roads. When you are recognized, you are welcomed in with great ceremony. Soldiers line up to gawk at you and salute as you explore. There is great tension in the air, but also enthusiasm. They are furious about the recent raids and the attack on Sutter and you, and they are waiting for orders to march out and bust heads. Let's look around. Thousands of fine Havenite soldiers here since the great uprising of the Rokaj a century ago. Haven has always kept a powerful force here. It has sent an effective message to the row, keeping them under control until now. Food and drink. Earned a reputation in Haven as a wild spirit, and the soldiers are eager to spend time with you. You're able to eat, drink, and trade stories of battle for as long as you want. Find out who's in charge. General Angach. General is currently staying in Laskara, not far to the north. Bid a goodbye to the soldiers and move on. You're free to explore the area as much as you wish. There is a powerful force here ready to fight for Haven. You suspect they're more than competent to handle the Rokaj. They have before. The question is, will war be necessary? Preferably not. Come on, guys, I need to get through. Thank you. From here, you get a good view of the Rokaj city of Laskara. Considering the Row's reputation as a wild, lawless place, Laskara looks sort of dull. It looks like any of the 100 port cities in the Empire. Ships sail in and out carrying food, building materials, and precious goods. One odd detail does stand out. The Laskara used to have tall stone walls. The aging remains of those walls are still there, overgrown with brush. Nobody's making any effort to repair them. Maybe we should. You enter the port city of Laskara. The Rokaj portal to the outside world. You've toured a lot of affluent cities, like this with Sutter, over the last year, but this one immediately stands out as strange. The Rokaj is thought of as a land of brutal, barbaric warriors. Laskara is a city of people who dress up as brutal warriors. The people here are wealthy, and their leather jerkins and jagged blades are all carefully made and very stylish in their way. The city has, or had, a defensive walls. They have been left to crumble into ruin. Laskara is wealthy enough to repair them, but for some reason they don't. They are a depressing eyesore in what could be a lovely city. As you pass, the guards and townfolk look at you with awe and respect. After a bunch of road tried to murder you in your quarters, it is a jarring change. I would say so. Hello? You meet a young man, barely an adult. He looks small and nervous in the expensive ceremonial armor and weaponry of the Gentle Coast. He gives you a brief, twitchy bow when you approach. Hello, Princess Viola. I am Malwyn. What do you do here? I am an assistant to Rasa Elha. I do what I can to help. Fetch things, watch, listen. My father wants me to try to be Rasa someday, to keep the position in the clan, so I'm here. He doesn't seem particularly ambitious. Tell me about Rasa Elha. Oh, she is from our clan. She's a great leader, and she knows a lot of magic, though she doesn't show it off. She's a real warrior. There aren't many of those in the Gentle Coast. There doesn't need to be, though. Not when we have Haven. You're a wealthy clan. Yes, wealthy and influential. One of the best of the Gentle Coast. Rasa Elha says it is because of Haven. Their influence changes us, civilizes us, makes us wealthy, she says, and that is why we have so much power. What do you think of Haven? Well, I have met very few Havenites. You don't send many envoys here. I haven't for a long time, but you do bring us trade. Lots of money, lots of precious goods. I see them all come in. Haven brings us a lot of things. He grows uncomfortable. Talking to a princess does that to a lot of people. I have a question. I'll be going now. Thank you for the honor of your visit. Okay, so polite, well-spoken. Nope. Did not mean to leave. I can't fit there, that's why. Okay. You approach the hall of the Rasa of the Gentle Coast. Here you will meet a leader of the Rokaj. You've never taken part in diplomacy like this on your own. You sense for a moment all of the lives that depend on the decisions you make, or don't make. And then the royal symbol of the Princess of Haven appears on your shoulder, placed there by your mother's magic. It will appear there no matter what you wear. If you're stripped naked, it will be a tattoo on your skin. When on official business, your mother insists that the mark of your identity be visible wherever you go. It can be incredibly irritating. I bet. Constantly showing off that, hey, I'm royalty. Especially when you don't want that. The Haven Hall. What's this place then? What's this? What's this? It looks like it might be a house. I'm sorry to all the villagers, but I am curious. Like, oh, let's go and report in. Nah, I'm gonna investigate. You look around the docks of Laskara. By the standards of the rest of Haven, this is a small and outdated facility. For the Rokaj, this is their main portal to the outside world and source of their wealth. The road does produce goods of some value: quicksilver, fine wood, precious amber, gemstones. They leave through here in return for the crafts and knowledge of the rest of Haven. How much of that wealth manages to make it into the mountains to the north remains to be seen. I'm a princess. Get me out of here! Alright. So I uncovered most of the outside. Let's uncover what little of the interior we need to. And there were a couple of people over here that were talking. Ah, Dockmaster. The Dockmaster of Laskara is working his trade, directing the workers and making notes about the shipments. Sometimes he breaks up a fight among drunken sailors. His expensive, fancy-studded armor and rapier aren't much for fighting, but the sailors aren't hard to handle. When he sees you, however, all other business is set aside. He runs up and bows. I heard that you arrived, Princess. I'm Dockmaster Nanash. Honored to meet you. All of the wealth of the road passes through this port, and it's all thanks to Haven. How are things in the Gentle Coast? Not good, as you all know. Raiders have been coming down from the highlands. Some tried to kill you. Others took over mines and forts. It's a horrible insult. They could cause a war. We'll make them pay. Be sure of that. Do all the goods of the Rokaj flow through this port? Not quite. Regular trade comes through here. Supplies to Haven's forces enter through Port Osborne, or they did. That port was taken by raiders. Now Haven's goods come through here, and it makes everything slower. There's a way some warrior could help Haven here. Help Haven how? Go to Port Osborne and retake the captured dock from the brigands. Haven will get plenty more supplies then. More importantly, you can recover the lost contracts, papers that we can use to determine what you have paid for. If you recover those contracts for me, I can use them to get precious supplies for you. Just a thought. Where are these captured dogs? East of here, along the water. I think that's where you arrived in the Rokaj. That's correct. Okay, so contracts are still at the port? Unfortunately so. When my merchants fled here, none of them had the papers with them. None of them knew where they were. They must still be there. Where are the contracts hidden? I don't know, unfortunately. They should still be in the port. I don't think that the raiders would want them. Got you. Okay, I have a side quest. 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 Yeah. I have a side quest. I have a side quest. I have a side quest. Yeah. Hello! This elderly man is native Row, but he is wealthy and fancy. He wears fur garb and a sword at his belt, but they are all stylish, expensive, and completely unaffected by any sort of combat. He smiles and bows deeply. Welcome, Princess of Haven. I am so honored by your visit. I am Crafter Lahur, trader of luxury goods. It is always a delight to be visited by envoys from civilized lands. What sort of things do you usually trade? The Rokaj make raw materials and a few crafts that are much in demand in the more civilized lands of Haven. They are produced in the savage highlands, brought to our ports, and sent out to the world. What do the highlands produce? Well, there are the mundane things: meat, stone, and wood. Some of it is of high enough quality to deserve space on a ship. We also trade precious ancient amber, quicksilver, and crystals, unique varieties of wood, all highly in demand for mages and craftsfolk throughout our empire. What do you get in return? The Urkaj is hungry for raw materials and new knowledge from all over the empire. We seek out precious metals, books of magical knowledge, and things we have difficulty providing for ourselves. You called the row of the Highlands savage. I'm afraid it is not my place to discuss politics, especially with a princess. He nervously wipes a spot off his leather vest. You can see that it has plates of metal set into it. We are deeply ashamed that the row raiders attacked you, but we small folk do need to be careful what we say. You like being a vassal of Haven? Of course. You bring us a life of safety and prosperity. In the Gentle Coast, we don't spend all our time hacking at each other, settling duels, or scraping for survival. Nice armor. Oh, thank you. It is recent fashion. Wearing armor like this is the way we of the Rokaj keep in touch with our roots. Note that the metal plates are very thin, light and convenient, but are utterly useless in battle. Why do you have to be careful with what you say? We of the Gentle Coast are not immune to all of the savagery of the Rokaj. There are some backward souls who want to be free of Haven's influence. They have been known to send Geldnaz killers in the night. These are the sort of savages who send raiders down into the Gentle Coast. Recently, I lost 2 caravans to murderers and thieves. You lost some caravans? 2 of them. One going north, one going east. They vanished. No sign of where they were lost or who took them. I offered a bounty to anyone who could find them and brave folk who could escort them. No takers yet. It's a dangerous time. Where were they lost? On one east, scavengers had recovered some nice items from the Uridico ruins there. The caravan was going to pick those up. One went north. It was going to the Krenas woods to pick up some artisanal grade lumber. Never entered the woods. How might one know that a caravan was yours? Each of our wagons has a quarter moon painted on the side. It's a symbol of my clan. I only say this to make conversation. I would never ask a princess of Haven to notice my small affairs. It genuinely seems to mean this. I'd like to trade with you? Of course, alas, I tend to deal with raw materials in bulk. Still, we have a few finished objects that might be of value in your journey. Ooh, okay. Let's see. I hate the speed penalties. But that... Bronze helm. That would be... Ooh. A lot of this would be nice. But I don't have a lot to give. I don't need it. Okay. Wow, this is a big building. Okay, that's fine. Alright, let's see if this woman has anything for us. She easily stands out in the prosperous city of Laskara. Her leather jerkin is dirty and shows the signs of hard travel. Her hair is chopped unevenly and her hands are callous. When she looks at you, she's curious, but shows no awe. Hello, Havenite. I am Ingrian. Ingrian? I am a trader from Krenas. I'm waiting for a shipment to be readied. I have a moment, if you want to learn. You say you're from Krenas. The Krenas Woods, north and west. The most beautiful of the provinces of the Row. We're wrapped in our forest, and it makes us strong. Now that she is talking to you, you note that she looks over her shoulder frequently. She tries to hide her nervousness, but she can't disguise it from you. Tell me about your forest. It is a living thing, in a way that other woods are not. The whole forest is one mind, speaking to us through our groves. We feed and protect our woods, and they shelter us. Her voice lowers to a whisper. You can barely hear her. Haven has been hacking at it for years, and we have withstood it. We hope the Kranis can survive your wisdom. You seem ill at ease. I know who you are. I know that some fools tried to murder you. They got what they deserved. The Kranis is strong and proud, but we are not fools. We do not want war with Haven. You're scared of war? She sits up straight. We are scared of nothing. But war brings fires. Soldiers tramp through our forest, hurting it. When the Great Uprising happened, much of our woods were burned. It took many years to repair the damage. What brings you to the Gentle Coast? I am our clan's trader. I organize caravans. I come here. I barter. Sell our iron and amber for what we need. I also check in on our clan's claim in the Gentle Coast. You seem underdressed for the city. Yes, my clothes are simple and crude. The Granite Woods are full of simple folk, not like the enlightened, beautiful folk of the coast. We should feel lucky to have them as to guide us and show us our flaws. What do you think of the Gentle Coast? She looks at the other traders, the wealthy locals with their finery and their mostly useless weapons. They are Akash like us. They bring wealth. They keep the outsiders happy. I see no reason to hate them. Her words seem peaceful, but her eyes are cold. She has no love for them. Have the recent raids caused you any trouble? She looks away and thinks on this. When she speaks again, her voice is soft. They have. I shouldn't be dealing with Havenites, especially ones of your rank. But I am a trader, and we have needs. When the raid started, we lost our mine. We have a claim in the Gentle Coast, and it was taken. Tell me about your mine. The woods the Kranis are angry. They have been cut and burned too much, and they act out. They attack us. Their infection is spread to our lone claim in the Gentle Coast. The Rokaj will not help us. Not in a time of raids and possible war. But you might. Haven has the strength to restore our mine to us. Why should I be interested in this? Because if you restore our mines, we will give you a portion of its iron and other products. We know Haven needs to rebuild. We can help you if you help us. If you accept this deal, go to the mine. The Kranis there will tell you more about what is happening. Where can I find this mine? It's the claim that probably is full of ghosties. We'll see. Check out the Haven Hall. There's a book. You enter the Haven Hall. It only makes sense that Haven would have a large embassy in this town. The place is a bit jumbled. It has to serve as a site for diplomatic missions, a military headquarters, and an inn for travelers from outside the row. Right now it is eerily quiet. Since you were attacked, merchants have been clearing out. Spies have gone off to spy, and soldiers have been returning to the field to prepare for battle. Your shouts coming from upstairs. That is where the activity is. Shouts don't sound good. What the? Oh, soldier. Okay. Looks kind of ghosty, but I can tell it's just because of the way that the smoke from the fire is. Alright. Let's see who's shouting about what. Oh, it's the general. You emerge upstairs into a large meeting hall. Soldiers everywhere. Maps and plans are being consulted. The 7th Army is camped in the south, and your general is here making plans. The Row attempted to kill 2 of Queen Sharon's children. There's going to be a spectacular response. What form that response takes depends on your actions. When the general sees you, he waves. Welcome, princess. I would beg a moment of your time. He sits at his desk in the northeast corner, and soldiers scurry off in all directions to prepare. General of the 7th Army of Haven rises to greet you. He is exactly what you expect for a general in the Rokaj. Tall, aging, grizzled, scarred. The veteran of many wars. In a land like the Row, with a history of rebellion, this is the sort of man you want. He bows to you and says, "Welcome, princess. I am General Engach. I command our troops to the south. I assure you that we are ready for whatever comes, and please let me give you my deepest apology." Apologize to me for what? For leaving you exposed, for letting the raids form, and for allowing them to threaten you. It was an unforgivable mistake, and it won't happen again. Apology accepted. Thank you, princess. We are eager to deal some harsh discipline to the Rakash. However, the queen has instructed us to give you time to do your work. When it is time, we will be ready to strike. We'll make them pay. I'd like to discuss the Rakash. Of course. I imagine you didn't plan to spend much time in this land of scoundrels. Gentle Coast is nice. They've bought their share of luxuries. It's when you get up into the highlands, the hills, and the mountains that you have to be paranoid. You don't sound fond of them. And Gatch thinks on this. I've been here for 10 years, and I don't know if I like them or not. They're strong. They're brave. The Row of the Highlands can withstand anything. They are cheery and generous. I'm just never sure when they're about to slit my throat. Tell me about the Gentle Ghost. It's the Row's name for it, and I think they mean it as an insult. The coast is rich. It's made the people here soft. The Row of the Highlands hate them for it, but Haven protects them. Don't worry about this province. We're in control here. Are you always paranoid? Of course. You always have to be with the Rokaj. After all, a century ago everything seemed fine, calm and peaceful, then the disaster happened. What disaster? The Great Uprising. Overnight, the Row were slaughtering us in our beds. Haven put the rebellion down, of course, but it was a bloody affair. That's why we don't let their cities have proper walls anymore. Don't ever be complacent around the Row. And don't worry, we're ready to fight. Tell me about the Rasa. I only ever dealt with Rasa Elha. She's a sharp one. She's loyal to Haven, and she's a powerful mage. She controls the Gentle Coast well. Wish all the Rasas were like her. The rest of the Rokaj hates her. Rasa Elha is hated? She's loyal to Haven. She believes the Rokaj is helped by being a vassal. Much of the rest of the Row see us as conquerors, and Rasa Elha is the lead collaborator. Okay. What's the word from Haven? We have our orders from the Queen. You are to follow orders and do diplomacy. Diplomacy. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. Meanwhile, we are prepared for war. What can I do to prevent war? Honestly, I don't know. You'll have to do your diplomacy and talk to them. Maybe you can find a way. I wish you luck. We don't want to put this place to the torch. But we will if the Queen gives the order. I don't want to put this place to the torch. Gosh, why is it that everybody seems to think that instantly we should be going to war? Yes, I get it. They tried to kill the crowned prince and a princess of Haven. But still, straight to war? Well, let's wrap up this episode by talking to the Rasa. You enter the hall of Rasa Elha, the leader of the Gentle Coast. Like the rest of Laskara, this chamber is a tasteful mix of Rakaj savagery and cosmopolitan elegance. The clan leaders of the row meet here and sit on rough wood stools in a circle, sharing meat grilled over an open fire according to tradition. But the wine is imported and expensive, and the decorations are stylish and tasteful, if outdated. The rasa of the Gentle Coast is clad in finely cut furs, and a curved blade hangs at her side, yet this portly middle-aged woman has not seen battle for a long time. Gold jewelry gleams on her fingers and around her neck. Rasa Ella notes the royal insignia on your shoulder. She slowly rises to meet you. Princess Viola, this is a great honor. Please come and join me in a meal. I am Rasa Elha, and our city is at your disposal. Rasa Ella motions for you to join her on the stools. Armed servants come in to serve you tea, grilled meats and vegetables, and whatever other beverages you desire. Before business, she insists on showing you their humble hospitality. Finally, she sets aside her plate and cup, sighs, belches, and says, "Thank you for your patience with our hospitality, honored princess. We can engage in proper ceremony now." She rises and bows. "I am Rasa Elha, honored leader of the Gentle Coast, and I welcome the Princess of Haven to its loyal vassal." "Hi, I'm Viola." She winces at the informality. "You have a bit of a reputation as a rogue, and this was expected." She regains her composure and sits again. "You wish to begin quickly, I see. We can come to business. We have a lot of it, I'm afraid. I have been sent on a diplomatic mission by the Queen." Rasa Elha nods. He clearly has already heard about this. A full diplomatic mission from Haven. It's been a long time since we've had such attention. Very long. The leader of the Gentle Coast is a matronly figure. It's hard to imagine how she became a ruler of the warrior land, even in a tame place like Laskara. Then, when she finds her tea too cold, she waves her fingers over it, and in a moment it's steaming again. Her raw power doesn't come from her blade. And these things have a traditional process, of course. Things that must be done. I imagine your general in Fort Metaphor was provided by the Queen to guide you. Do you have any petitions for Haven? In other words, is anything wrong? Are there any problems that we can't fix on our own? Do we need your help? To which I say officially, the Gentle Coast has no petitions for Haven. None at all. Really? No demands? None at all. The Rokash has tried to make itself a problem for Haven. The Gentle Coast will not be a part of that problem. This concludes the petitions. You may report your cooperation to General Miranda. Haven needs to know who is on your side. What else do we need to discuss? Well, there's a small traditional formality. After the Great Uprising, Haven agreed that it would not send a major force up the pilgrimage road into the mountains without asking permission from the Rasa of the Gentle Coast. Me. Just a formality, mind you. I request permission as Princess of Haven to travel through the Rokaj. Rasa Elha smiles. I am honored by the request. I formally declare that you have permission to travel the Pilgrimage Road. I think that is everything then. The Pilgrimage Road? It's the main north-south road through our lands. It starts north of Laskara. It's marked by a huge pair of standing stones erected by the low Dahagans in the past. Gosh, there's so many words that my tongue is trying to trip over everything. Leads to the Karanis Woods, then to the low Daga, and finally the High Litha. And finally, I wish to give you a humble bit of tribute, as expected for a visitor of such importance. What sort of tribute? We're a trading post, port, and we gather a lot of wealth as such. We will have building materials directed to your fort, wood and stone to help you rebuild your defenses. And finally, please consult our library. She points to the door to the northeast. The Rakash has its own researchers and its own arts of war. We hope you will learn some valuable skills while you're here. That concludes the stuffy formalities. I'm sure there is much you want to know. There is, but I think I'm going to pick that up in the next episode, guys. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to keep up to date on all the videos. And remember to free the feral wildflower in you. Bye-bye!